Georgia, the hidden kingdom of the Caucasus. There are places in the world that don't just appear on maps, they whisper their names through mountains, echo in wine cellars, and sing in polyphonic voices across valleys. Georgia is one of those places. Say, Georgia, to someone, and most will think of the American state, peaches, and Atlanta. Very few picture an ancient nation tucked away in the Caucasus, where Europe and Asia meet, where history carved fortresses into cliffs, and where every guest is treated like royalty. This is Sakartvelo, the land Georgians call their own. A land of wolves, wine, mountains, and mysteries. Geography, between two worlds. Georgia sits like a natural balcony overlooking both Europe and Asia. To the west, waves of the Black Sea crash against rocky beaches; to the north, the mighty Caucasus Mountains tower, acting as a shield from Russia's icy winds; to the south and east, rolling hills open the way to Turkey, Armenia, and Azerbaijan. The country is compact, yet astonishingly diverse. In a single day, you could ski in the snowy peaks of Gadori, explore cave monasteries in Imereti, and swim on the subtropical Black Sea coast of Batumi. Its terrain is a patchwork of green valleys, volcanic plateaus, and fertile plains where grapes grow as if they were born from legend. The Great Kara River flows through the heart of Georgia, cutting across Tbilisi before meandering into Azerbaijan. To the north, Mount Shkara rises nearly 5,200 meters, making it one of the highest peaks in Europe, if you place Georgia in that category. And beneath these mountains, Georgia hides an underground kingdom, the Krubra Cave, the deepest in the world, descending more than 2,000 meters into the earth. But landscapes are more than scenery here, they are part of the national identity. The Caucasus doesn't just protect Georgia, it defines it. Origins of the name, saint, farmer, or wolf. Even the name, Georgia, is a puzzle. Some say it honors Saint George, the dragon slayer, who is the nation's patron saint and whose crosses appear on flags, shields, and churches. Others argue it comes from the Greek word georgos, meaning farmer, a nod to the fertile soils and rich agriculture. But the most evocative theory traces it to the Persian gurjan, wolf. The land of wolves. This version has a mythic flavor, and Georgians, with their love for legends, embrace it with pride. After all, the wolf has always symbolized resilience, courage, and survival, traits Georgia has needed across its turbulent history. People and identity. Georgia's population hovers around 4.8 million, mostly ethnic Georgians, with minorities of Azeris, Armenians, Ossetians, Russians, and Greeks. But identity here is about more than numbers, it's about belonging to the Kartvelian family, the broader ethno-linguistic group that includes subgroups like the Svans, Mingrelians, and Laz. And then there's the language, a jewel unlike any other. Georgian isn't Indo-European, Semitic, or Turkic. It stands alone, related only to a few other Kartvelian tongues. Its alphabet, one of the world's 14 unique scripts, looks like an artist's handwriting, soft, rounded, flowing. With 33 letters, it challenges outsiders but feels like home to Georgians. Even more fascinating, there are 3 historical alphabets, Asomtavroli, Naskuri, and Kedrili, still preserved in manuscripts, giving Georgia a written tradition as ancient as its churches. History, a survival epic. Few nations have endured as much and still kept their spirit alive. Georgia's story stretches back to ancient kingdoms of Colchis and Iberia, mentioned in Greek myths. Remember the tale of Jason and the Argonauts and the Golden Fleece? That fleece was said to come from Colchis, western Georgia, where locals used sheep skins to pan for gold in mountain rivers. By the 3rd century BCE, King Pharnavaz united the Kartvelian tribes, creating the first Proto-Georgian state. Over the next 2 millennia, Georgia stood at the crossroads of empires. Persians, Romans, Byzantines, Arabs, Mongols, Ottomans, and Russians all swept through, yet none erased Georgia's identity. The nation reached its golden age in the 12th and 13th centuries under rulers like King David the Builder and Queen Tamar the Great, who expanded territory, built cathedrals, and turned Georgia into a beacon of culture. Queen Tamar, in particular, is legendary, not just for ruling, but for being crowned as King Tamar, symbolizing her authority equal to or greater than male rulers. Later centuries brought invasions, partitions, and eventually absorption into the Russian Empire and Soviet Union. Yet through it all, Georgia preserved its faith, traditions, and language. After independence in 1991, the country faced conflicts in Abkhazia and South Ossetia, leaving scars that remain today. Religion and spirit. Faith is woven deeply into Georgian life. Christianity arrived early. Tradition says that Saint Nino, a Cappadocian woman armed only with a cross made from grapevines, converted the royal family in the 4th century. Georgia thus became one of the world's first officially Christian nations, alongside Armenia and Ethiopia. Today, about 84% of Georgians are Orthodox Christians. Their churches, often perched on cliffs or tucked in valleys, seem to grow from the earth itself. The Georgidi Trinity Church, sitting beneath Mount Kazbek, is perhaps the most iconic, a solitary stone silhouette against a backdrop of snowy peaks. Step inside, and you'll find candlelight flickering on golden icons, chants resonating against ancient walls. Culture, music, dance, and hospitality. Georgian culture is a blend of rugged strength and artistic elegance. The polyphonic singing, multiple voices weaving in complex harmonies, is so unique that UNESCO listed it as intangible cultural heritage. It's haunting, otherworldly, and powerful. Dance tells another story. Men leap, spin, and clash swords in displays of raw power, while women glide gracefully, symbolizing beauty and dignity. Together, the dances reflect Georgia's character, bold, dramatic, and proud. Hospitality is almost sacred. Georgians say, a guest is a gift from God. At a traditional feast, or supra, guests sit around a table overflowing with wine, khachapuri, dumplings called kinkali, and countless small dishes flavored with walnuts, herbs, and tarragon. A toastmaster, or tamada, leads with poetic toasts that can last minutes. To dine in Georgia isn't just to eat, it's to share life itself. Food and wine, a living heritage. If there's one thing that unites Georgians, it's their love of food and wine. Archaeological evidence shows that winemaking here began over 8,000 years ago, the oldest in the world. They ferment grapes in clay vessels called kvevri, buried underground, a method still used today and now recognized by UNESCO. Georgian cuisine is rich, hearty, and bursting with flavor. Khachapuri, the cheese-filled bread, comes in many varieties, the boat-shaped ajaruli topped with egg and butter, the round amarili, simple but satisfying. Kinkali, juicy dumplings filled with meat or mushrooms, are eaten by hand, sucking out the broth before devouring the dough. Spices like blue fenugreek, coriander, and marigold give dishes a unique kick. Walnut paste transforms vegetables into creamy spreads, while tangy sauces made from cherry plums brighten roasted meats. And then there's tarragon soda, a quirky national favorite. Modern Georgia, a bridge of contrasts. Today, Georgia balances tradition and modernity. Tbilisi, with its sulfur baths, cobblestone streets, and Art Nouveau balconies, also boasts futuristic glass bridges and hip cafes. Batumi on the coast has reinvented itself as a playground of bold skyscrapers, palm-lined boulevards, and vibrant nightlife. Kutaisi, ancient and humble, carries a more spiritual vibe with monasteries like Galati, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Politically, Georgia walks a tightrope. It seeks closer ties with Europe and NATO while managing delicate relationships with neighbors. With Azerbaijan and Turkey, trade and energy pipelines flow. With Armenia, history complicates friendship. With Russia, politics clash but people still maintain personal connections across borders. Conclusion: the soul of Georgia. Georgia is not a place you simply visit, it's a place you feel. It's the hush of wind through mountain passes, the glow of wine in a clay vessel, the warmth of a stranger inviting you to their table. It's castles of stone and alphabets of curves, legends of golden fleeces and songs that echo like prayers. Neither Europe nor Asia can fully claim it. Georgia is its own world, ancient yet alive, proud yet welcoming, carved by wolves, saints, and kings. And if you ever go, don't just see Georgia. Listen to it. Taste it. Let it claim a piece of your heart, because it will.